And damn, man, I really don't think the response to this should have been this out of control. I feel that every time Nintendo releases a product, a service, it just gets blown out of proportion. And when you really put it into perspective, it's honestly not that crazy. Like, I'm sorry, man, but gaming is a luxury. It's a rich man's luxury. I don't care how you put it. I don't care how you say it. It is a luxury, and it's not a necessity. Okay, so prices are going to be exclusive. It's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus Christ. But Nintendo expansion pack pricing was announced during the Animal Crossing Direct, which I'll say is amazing. I'm so excited for Animal Crossing in the future. There's a lot of great things going on there. But people weren't happy with the pricing. The Nintendo Switch Online, which is basically the N64 expansion and Sega Genesis expansion pack, is gonna be going for $50 a year, and it releases today, as you know, the day of the recording, which is October 25th. What this includes, of course, is 9, I think, N64 games and a variety of Sega Genesis games, and it also includes the DLC for Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now, people weren't very happy with the pricing. They say it's a little bit steep. Of course, it is more than double the price of what it was previously. Previously, it was only $20 a year. But like, looking at perspective, you're getting so many games, and like for $50 a year, and you're still also getting DLC. Like, to me, it doesn't seem too crazy, because even the DLC on its own is $25. Take off those $25 from the expansion pass, you're basically paying $25 a year for this thing. Of course, they're putting the DLC as an incentive to say, like, hey, look, this thing is actually worth it. I understand. Nintendo is a company. I don't know if you know what companies are for. They're there to make profit. They're not there to be charities. I hate to say it like that. I hate defending companies, but let's put some logic behind this whole I don't know, people just, I don't know, man. I feel gamers are a little bit too spoiled nowadays, man. If you look back at just the pricing trends for gaming, it's stayed pretty consistent throughout the years. Like, games have been worth $60 for decades now. Like, games used to be so expensive back in the day. Like, I don't think you remember how much an N64 game was, because probably you weren't born back then. But I remember an N64 game could be $70, $80 sometimes. Like, these things were expensive, and they've kept pricing pretty accessible for what it is. I mean, making a 20-hour game, even so, takes hundreds upon thousands of hours of production time, thousands in dollars. Like, it's just so expensive to make video games nowadays. So to me, a $50 per year price, that comes less than $5 a month, to have access to N64 games, which people have been asking for a long time, ever since the Nintendo Switch released. And as we all know, emulating N64 games is pretty hard, you know. So even if I'm not telling you to go and emulate these games, but if you were to go out and try to emulate N64 games, you'll understand how difficult it is. So us having the accessibility to these games like at the touch of a button, thanks to like the expansion pack, I really do think it's worth it, because it saves you so much time. It saves you having to get a PC if you don't have a PC, trying to emulate N64 games, trying to emulate Sega Genesis games. Like, there's a lot of variables in there that the expansion pack just puts it all into a neat package. And like I said, gaming is a luxury. It's a luxury form of entertainment. It's expensive. Gaming is an expensive hobby. It's not charity. Like, it's not a necessity for people to survive. I don't know why people think like they just, like, Twitter went on a frenzy, and like, honestly, it just really annoyed me just how people reacted. I'm not trying to defend Nintendo. I'm just saying that I understand the pricing. Oh, okay. Now that I got all that out of my system. Nintendo, here are the virtual reports that Nintendo has announced the price and release for its upcoming Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass subscription tier, which adds N64 games, Sega Genesis games, and a bundle access to the new paid Animal Crossing New Horizons Happy Home Paradise DLC. It'll cost $49.99 per year for an individual subscription, or $79.99 for a shared family membership. This service will officially launch on October 25th. Of course, a lot of these games, the N64 games, will have multiplayer features. You can play Mario Kart 64. You can play it online with friends. You can play Star Fox 64 online. You can play Mario Tennis online. Like, this is the value that they're injecting into this expansion pack. Like, even that, to me, of course, worth is something very subjective, but to me, being able to play Mario Kart 64 with people online is a huge thing. Like, it's basically going to carry us over until we actually get the next Mario Kart game. To me, in my opinion, being able to play with people online, Mario Kart 64 is going to be amazing. Like, even that for me, I would have gladly paid the $50, even if that was like the only multiplayer option. I don't care. Again, worth is something very subjective. Of course, you can also buy the Animal Crossing New Horizons DLC on its own, which is going to be $24.99, because even though you get the free DLC, you get the DLC for free if you subscribe to this expansion pack. If you run out your subscription, you lose access to all of that. So yeah, if you let the subscription run out, you do lose access to the Animal Crossing New Horizons DLC, which I do think is a little bit, you know, shady. Like, but at the same time, I understand it. Maybe they should have just included it as, you know, once you subscribe to this for once, you get the DLC for free and you can access it whenever. Although if you do let your subscription run, you still save the progress that you get on the DLC, because the DLC is pretty extensive and everything that they're adding to Animal Crossing. It is my second most played game on my Switch. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm almost at like 400 hours or so. At launch, the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack service will include several of the most popular N64 games. Super Mario 64, which I don't know whether including it, we already got 3D All-Stars, but whatever. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I'm really not replaying that game. Mario Kart 64. In the future, we will get Banjo-Kazooie Majora's Mask, which I'm excited for. Even though I got 2 copies of it right here for the N64, I'm still excited for that. Oh, and I also have it for the 3DS. I don't know why I'm excited for a game that I replay. It is my favorite game of all time, though. We're getting Paper Mario, which is huge in my opinion. Pokemon Snap, the original one, of course. And a bunch of other things, like even the addition of games such as Banjo-Kazooie is just huge for me, because that means they had to get a lot of licensing. People are speculating that the price increase a lot has to do with the licensing fees that Nintendo had to pay, for example, to Sega, to port over a lot of their games to be able to emulate them on Nintendo Switch, which I understand. Of course, also Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie is not a Microsoft property. Can't even imagine how much they had to pay, even for Smash, to include Banjo on Smash and to include Banjo-Kazooie on the N64 expansion packs. I'm sure it was a hefty price. But I am excited. I am excited to see what how the system is going to be rolling out later today. I might just subscribe to it. I might just get the family membership and split the price with me and my girlfriend. Even my sister, I don't know, maybe see who wants to be part of that deal. But I'm excited for this. And I don't care what people say.